Blessed be Star Beams. Welcome to June's energy update. And from the research, it is quite a month of creative new expression and expansion and deep shifts of awareness with our beautiful sun moving into Gemini. Talking of sun energy, I just want to speak to the 6SX class solar flares at the beginning of May, which are monumental downpourings of new codes and new light. And I know for myself and for my one-to-one soul sessions, there has been such a elevation on a cellular level of light that a lot of density has had to shift and move and be released, so we can make way for the new expression of our consciousness. Now that has been in conjunction with the Neptune energy, Pisces in Neptune at 29 degrees, and this is completing a 164-year cycle. So if we feel into Pisces being the old era of consciousness, the last 2,000 years of our evolution, there may well be codes of the Piscean energy, old ways of being, old perceptions, old habits, and old belief patterns that are needing to be released. So if you have felt any of the lower octaves of the Piscean energy around victimhood, around giving our power away to any expression outside of us for our reality, any veering towards addiction rather than allowing ourselves to sit and feel into what is rising in our emotional body, knowing that Pisces is deep water emotional body expression, it can be quite an intense time of release and purification of the density on a cellular level and in our psyche that wants to upgrade and up level. So feeling into those energies and feeling into those solar code upgrade energies, it has been quite a intense release, renew and upgrade energy that will continue and is continuing in the month of June. But now our beautiful sun moves into Gemini, and Gemini, as we know, is the sign of the twins. It is essentially our lower primal intelligence, mind energy, with our higher spiritual consciousness. And we're ideally looking to start unifying the two to create a new reality, a new experience, a new co-creator expression of self. So Gemini lends itself to expression. It is ruled by Mercury, which is the messenger of the gods. It's looking to learn and grow and communicate in networks and community to expand and elevate a deeper expression of self. So we're looking at how we can move into our authentic soul essence and up level the way that we express ourselves through our communication, knowing that our words are spells, and how we communicate inwardly is where we need to begin. Knowing that every single thought, especially any repeated thought patterns, are being felt by our cosmic child within. So we're looking to upgrade and up level how we nurture, give confidence and elevate our inner child energy, so she or he feels more confident to move into more of authentic truth, authenticity and creation. So we need to watch out for any limiting belief patterns around self-critique, judgment, separation, any damning energy that we are thinking and our cosmic child is listening to, and transform that for our greater expression, for more of our soul essence to be communicated through our heart space and then being expressed into the world. So Mercury and Uranus and Taurus are coming into conjunction on May the 30th, and that will allow us to feel into that Mercury mind energy working with our cosmic mind, which is the Uranian energy, to transform the way we communicate with ourselves and the way that we communicate with others. But most importantly, it will bring in new ideas and new breakthroughs of perception that can transform our inner vibrational energy to expand more of our light and more of our unique signature frequency, which then gives birth to giving us confidence to express our new visions or our new ways of being. And that is amplified really throughout the energy of June, because of this Gemini desire to create the new, to learn and to grow and to expand into new ways of consciousness, into new ways of understanding and being. So you could almost say that the month of June is a little bit like our new and ancient self, so like the Uranian future self and the Gemini primal self coming together to merge, to start creating new visions and expressions, creating new reality essentially, and how we can create our heaven on earth now with our new awareness and perception around all of those Gemini themes. So feeling into new visions and new creations around what we feel is calling to us at heart level. Now, the reason why I keep talking about heart energy is because the Venus star point activates on the 2nd of June, and she's completing a 4-year cycle. So the divine feminine expression within us is going through a monumental upgrade around the Venusian themes in conjunction with this Gemini sun energy. The Venusian themes are how we're able to up-level our self-worth, our self-confidence, how we nurture and look after ourselves, and then really paying discernment into what Venusian energies can be potentially released or closed out, or giving awareness to any energies that we've outgrown. So that is within self, again around those themes, but being that Venusian energy, it's also around relationships, particularly relationships with feminine, so sister energy. Because this is a 4-year cycle and a rebirth of the Venus star, we need to feel into any relationships that have come to the end of a growth cycle, and allow any old energies in relationships to gently fall away, so we're able to come into greater understanding of who we are now, to allow the relationships that we really resonate with and that we're in a growth cycle with to really land and anchor. So if we feel into the first half of June, we need to feel into allowing ourselves to honor what is rising, that wants to be shedded, to be purified, to be dissolved, feeling into that cellular energy being upgraded by the solar activity, these huge solar storm activity energies, upgrading us on a cellular level to reach higher levels of consciousness and create reality from that space. Feel into the Venusian star point being activated as that big 4-year completion around our energies of self-worth, self-empowerment, how we receive and how we gift our energy in relationships, especially in terms of our feminine relationships. What relationships are ready to come in to be nurtured, and what energies are allowed to be released with grace and love that have maybe come to the end of their growth cycle. With Pluto being in Aquarius, and there is a conjunction on the 2nd of June with Jupiter in Gemini, we're looking at more of the Plutonian energy wanting to release, energy that wants to be dissolved around what isn't serving us in terms of our soul growth moving forward, because Pluto is our higher soul energy. It's the transformation and rebirth energy. And essentially what that Gemini energy is bringing us in terms of visioning our future and what we want to create. So there is a divine mission activation, if you will, moving through us as these planets communicate. And as this communication unfolds, we may get the little golden nuggets of feeling into more of that expansion energy, the Aquarian quantum, everything is possible in the quantum field, around what templates we want to break of the old third dimensional consciousness, if you will, the old third dimensional structures and ways of being, and what can we create that's fresh and what's new moving forward. These are conversations that I've been having with my partner right now, today. We've just taken a break in Spain, and we're feeling into how we can break the old templates around what we perceive as life structures, and how could we bring in more travel and divine purpose and merge them so we can create a new reality. So that's a good example of this energy working with us. What templates are we ready to break, and what new templates are we ready to create that is going to serve who we are now, and that Venusian star point birthing around what our needs are now for our own well-being, our own nurture, and our own sacred, divine, feminine up-leveling around what we want to express at heart level, that is that divine love frequency. So what brings us in alignment vibrationally and frequentially, so we can gift more of our divine dharma, more of our soul mission, more of our authentic light and creativity. And how can we use that Pluto and Aquarius energy to help us dissolve the old so we can birth the new? So moving on from that, this Jupiterian energy, as we know, and we've had a lot of Jupiter energy in May, it's around expansion and reaping our karmic gifts and rewards. Jupiter wants to expand everything that is beautiful, everything that we can vision and move into that brings that level of divine abundance, of divine expression, of divine energy. It's like the energy of miracles. So this energy, again, is continuing in June, and so we can keep leaning into, if our focus is on what we want to create and expand, the Jupiterian energy is going to massively amplify that. There's a beautiful sextile on the 2nd of June, Mercury in Taurus sextile Jupiter in Gemini, which again is elevating and expanding more of our vision to create solutions around what we really want to create now. And so along with that Gemini energy that is about expression, it's about how we message, how we are the messenger, we could well be feeling the throat chakra expansion energy as well. And so that throat chakra expression can come in a really positive, beautiful way in terms of allowing ourselves to move into what we desire, but it's also activating what is not in alignment with what we and who we are now. And so we can use that throat chakra expression to create healthy boundaries around what we don't want and what we do want, especially in our connections and relationships. Now, feeding into that Gemini energy again, around this new moon in Gemini on the 6th of June, there is definitely an activation and an invitation around our close communications in terms of relationships in our local environment, because that's another theme that Gemini rules. So if there is energy coming up within that new moon on the 6th of July around up-leveling our connections with our neighbours or with our friendships, then it's divine timing, and it's a theme that we can look into to start feeling into what relationships are ready to be more expansive, and what relationships maybe need to be let go of that are not worthy of our energy, knowing that Venusian energy will always call in divine alignments and connections. And this will lend itself to romantic connections as well, new birthings of expansions of relationships that are in alignment, but also the magnetic call, that divine magnetic energy, calling in more divine connection and more divine relationship frequency, so we can move into higher expressions of that divine love within and so without. So on this new moon, and I'm just reading actually some of the cards that I pulled for this beautiful energy of June, and one of them is the Wishing Well. This is from the Rebecca Campbell Sacred Waters deck. So that wishing well energy is such a Jupiterian frequency, and so if we can feel into this new moon in Gemini and the themes around the Gemini energy, around connection, messaging, new creations, innovation, and connections within our local environment in terms of relationships, combined with the Venusian energy of our divine nature and expanding more of our divine love frequency, this is a beautiful moon to use that wishing well Jupiterian energy of intention setting, calling in to embody what frequency we want to experience, but knowing that that frequency has to be cultivated within first. That energy has to be embodied first before it can show up in our reality. And so we get quite a big push from the universe to be very responsible around how we are embodying and anchoring this energy, so we can see it mirrored back to us in relationship. Now just be aware, in Gemini season we can get a lot of download energy because Mercury is the messenger of the gods, and it's a very quick, fast-paced moving energy, which means we're going to have more energy to move into networking, into community, into learning, into growing, into wanting to do more social things. But the key thing is, if we are not grounding and if we're not anchoring into our body, we can't get that unified consciousness of more of the primal mind with the spiritual higher self mind to merge, to connect, to birth these new innovations, these new creations, and these new perceptions. So the invitation is to slow down in Gemini season. We've got to slow the whole Mercury energy, so we are grounding and anchoring it using the divine feminine energy of coming into rest, coming into integration, and coming into receivership. The Gemini energy will want to yang. The divine feminine energy needs to receive, to take action in the most aligned form. So all of our practices around meditation, breath work, invitation for energy healing, for massage, all of those divine feminine tools for us to really embody that divine frequency. So when we do get these Gemini downloads and these sun code energies activating more of our co-creator self, we can take the most aligned action. So we're not moving into mind overwhelm, which can easily happen in Gemini season. So moving through Gemini season, we have got a monumental energy coming to us, a beautiful portal on the 21st of June, which is summer solstice, but it's also the full moon in Capricorn. So the full moon is landing on summer solstice, which is auspicious and powerful, because the sun in Gemini and then the moon in Capricorn, and being a full moon in Capricorn, is asking us to take full responsibility of how we are creating our reality and activating our noble, regal truth. So we are able to fully discern what is worthy of focusing our energy on, so we can build in the physical, knowing that Capricorn is the sign of building empire. It wants to climb the mountain, being the goat, climbing the mountain. It wants to climb the mountain, but actually the energy of the goat is building through the joy of the heart. Now Capricorn in the shadow aspect is over-yanging, overdoing, over-giving. Capricorn in its finest energy is the goat. It's the spirit of the goat energy that wants to create, wants to build with bricks of light and joy frequency. So feeling into that and being the celebration of summer solstice and that massive emanation of solar light that will literally illuminate the planet, that's our solar consciousness. That is our soul self presence, wanting to birth a whole new expression of self. It wants to celebrate and magnify our soul fire, our soul heart fire. So if you can feel into this Gemini energy giving us the downloads of what this new creation of new templates, creating our new heaven on earth in our own unique signature frequency, with Aquarius and Pluto working very heavily, along with the summer solstice, the celebration of the new birth of the solar energy, along with Capricorn saying, I want to ground and earth that in the physical, we can see how these energies combine in a beautiful divine dance to really amplify our divine consciousness and co-creatrix power to create these new templates, to create these new bricks of new earth and build them in the physical and real form. So I hope this has been really supportive and serves you well, beautiful divine ones. Remember to soften any parts of you that want to be released, to be purified, to be let go of, to birth anew. Remembering we focus our energy only on what is worthy of our energy. So we up-level that divine feminine rebirth of our goddess energy within. We're unifying that with our God energy, coming into union with self and making sure that we are continuing to self-nurture and love our divine cosmic child. And then immersing ourselves in the Gemini energy of learning, of studying, of teaching, and of communicating in relationship in higher octave, higher energy, higher frequency, and remembering our words are spells. So everything that we spell to our cosmic child, she is listening, and everything we spell out into the world manifests by threefold. And also what we give out comes back threefold. So there is a magnification and a focus on how we are communicating and how our words are power and how we are creating our reality through every thought and embodiment of our own frequency and truth into this new earth consciousness. And we are all fiercely responsible with that Capricorn full moon on solstice for being in our noble, royal truth to create from our heart what we truly want to see in the world. So it's been an absolute divine honor and pleasure to be with you once again. My name is Kellyanne. I'm a divine feminine ascension guide. I'm also a soul transformational coach and healer, an angelic Reiki master, trainer and teacher. and it would be an honour to work with you one-to-one. You can reach me on my Insta, which is Kellyanne Star Angel Temple, and you can also find me on starangeltemple.com with my website offerings. So much love to you, blessed hearts, as we rise together, and I will see you for the next energy update. With so much love, blessed be.